Jay Lotney is with us from New Breed Athletics here at our Carol and Janelle. We're just outside of the beautiful Bocce courts. And Jay, you do a lot of great stuff with student athletes across northeastern Pennsylvania. Let's talk a little bit about your vision many years ago, what you had, and how long you've been at this.
I started New Breed going on probably 8 years now, and what I saw when I first came around here was the lack of discipline and, you know, good old-fashioned hardcore structured training, trying to bring guys, you know, from what I've seen out going to New Jersey, Ohio, you know, down south. The type of training that I've seen athletes going through down there, I've seen up here that we were missing all that. So I figured I'd travel around, bring some of that back here, and try to develop a different type of athlete in this area. The type of athlete that I like to see: strong, explosive, quick. I like to see my linemen sprinting downfield like they were linebackers. Just, you know, a real all-around good athlete. So,
talk about developing the relationships over those 8 years, and obviously you've seen some guys go on to the next level and doing some great stuff, but you know, that base of yours is still developing young, you know, whether it's 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids that kind of start to become men, and you feel like you're an important component in their life.
Yeah. You know, the kids that we normally get coming through now are like 13, 14 years old. When you walk through our door, it's basic movement patterns. So I want to see you earn your right to touch a bar in my gym. You have to be able to give me a proper push-up. You got to be able to hold yourself on a pull-up bar before you can start doing any, you know, heavy pulls or anything like that. Different sprints mechanics, proper landing with jumps, you know, basic movements. And then as you get a little bit further down the road, you know, maybe 10th, 11th grade, and then we start to throw you to the wolves. Then we really beat you down so that, you know, when it comes to the season, it's playtime. You're just having fun. So,
talk about how many days a week. Does it vary per kid? Guys coming in?
It depends on the level. You know, if we're dealing with 9, 10, 11-year-old kids 2 to 3 times a week, more advanced kids, my juniors and seniors that are looking to go play at the next level, some of them will have 5 times a week, some I'll have there 4 times a week. Some kids, I have to stop them from coming because they just want to be there so much.
Talk about not just football athletes at New Breed Athletics. Do you get a variety of student athletes?
I've trained a lot of my high school basketball girls now. One last year, Lizzie Spindler was my first Division I to leave out of here. I had one Division II, Destiny Jefferson last year. Sarah Holloway this year is going Division II. One more Division II leaving out. Shelby Funches is leaving this year. So I do lacrosse kids. I have baseball players that leave off. So we have pretty much everybody down there.
What are you seeing now out of a student athlete? You know, back in the day, guys like us, how we used to train, and then, you know, you said there's a little difference. So what are you seeing out of these kids as far as developing a work ethic and wanting to punch that clock? And you said you get a couple kids that you got to push away a little bit, but getting them up to speed early at that young age to say, okay, this is the way you got to do this.
Hungry. I mean, kids that I grew up around in the areas I lived at, no money and pretty poor situations, and they wanted to have something better for themselves, and they knew what it took to make it to that next level. So they worked hard. No matter what you gave us back then, I mean, we're gonna take it and we'll just do a little bit more. So the lack of what I see in a lot of athletes today is not willing to do that little bit more. But then there's that rare few that do come through our door that you give them exercises and they go through their whole program. Okay, what's next? What do you mean? We're done. That's all you need, but I got a little bit more in me. So, you know, it's just the lack of hunger that I see. But again, there are them few that actually do have it. So.
Let's talk about some of the help you get at New Breed Athletics. You know, Kevin McHale's been a part of it, and talk about his knowledge and what he brings.
A big part of it. Kevin's really good with the athletes. His knowledge of, you know, just football alone. I mean, I'm a strength guy. I'm not the X and O guy. So when they come to me on, you know, well, how can I improve this right here? Go talk to Kev. I mean, that's not my area. But if he tells me, you know, what you're lacking, then I can design a strength program to kind of mimic what you need to work on to take it to that next level. So the guys that do come through there that help us out, I mean, we're very appreciative of them, all the knowledge, because I don't know everything. None of us know everything, so we take from everybody.
We talked a little bit with Kevin earlier about some safety stuff that he does, and you mentioned, you hit on a few things about, hey, if you could do a pull-up, you'll be able to do some things. Talk about how important safety is when it comes to lifting properly and strength training.
Very safe, very important. You have to know the proper movement patterns before you can take it to the next level. Some of the strength and conditioning coaches that I've seen or that I've heard about, day one they could have kids coming in their gym and squatting with 225 pounds on their backs, but the kids can't even do a proper lunge, so their movement patterns are off, and then they're coming to us crying about, well, my knees hurt or my back hurts. Well, let me see how you do a squat. Let me see you do a lunge. Oh my goodness, no, you can't do that. Never do that again. So, proper movement is everything. If I just load you up just for the sake of loading you up for a YouTube video or whatever, that's not going to benefit you. But if I can get you moving and get you stronger in each one of these specific movement patterns, well, then when it's time for you to play, you're used to being in all those different positions and you're stronger in those different positions, and it's going to help you inside your game. So movement is everything.
Jay, more people want to find out about New Breed Athletics. Talk about some easy ways that people can find you.
Best way to come find us is you can look us up on Instagram at J_New Breed Athletics. Go on Facebook, New Breed Athletics on Facebook, or you can read the papers and see all our athletes that make game day, go on to the next level, go Division I, II, whatever. So we're everywhere.
All right, Jay, keep up the great work, and great catching up with you.
All right, thank you.